We have got different standard of life. In your Western countries, your standard of life is, at least it is to be understood, more comfortable than other standard of life. In this way, if you promote yourself to the topmost planetary system, which is called Brahmaloka, then you get your duration of life many millions of years. It is stated in the Bhagavad Gita that Sahasra Yuga Parjantam Arhajat Brahmano Vidu. In the Brahmaloka planet, the residents, they have got their 1 day. 1 day means daytime, not night time. 12 hours, say. That is equal to their 12 hours is equal to our millions of years. Sahasra Yuga means 4,300,000 of years multiplied by 1,000. That is called Sahasra Yuga. Such is such duration of time is equal to 12 hours in the Brahmaloka planet. So, even if you go to the Brahmaloka planet, you read that, Abrahma bhuvana lokan punaravartinarjuna. Read it.
Abrahma bhuvana loka punaravartinarjuna mamupetya tu kanteya punarjanma vijite.
So our natural tendency is to go to other better planets. Therefore people are trying to go to the moon planet. Similarly, you can go to the sun planet, you can go to the Brahmaloka planet, Siddhaloka planet, heavenly planet. There are so many. But the information is, even though you reach the topmost planet of this universe, still there are the 4 principles of material life, namely birth, death, old age and disease are there. So, we can go to the topmost planet. There is process how to go. Urdham gachanti sattasva madhye tishtanti rajasa jaghanna gunavittista adho gachanti tamas. If you keep yourself in sataguna or in the modes of goodness, you are promoted to the higher planetary system, even to the topmost planetary system. That is called Urdham Gachanti Sattasva. And if you keep yourself in the modes of passion, you shall remain within the middle planetary system. This is middle planetary system. These are 3 planets. This is called Bhurlo. Then above this there is Bhubarlo. Then above this Sarolo, that is heavenly planet. The heavenly planet begins from the moon planet. Jaghanna gunavittista adho gachanti tamasa. And those who are in the modes of darkness, they go down, down, down. The animal life is also amongst the down modes of life. So, this human form of life is a chance to make our choice where we shall go next, in the higher or in the lower, or we shall remain here. So, how to go to the higher planetary system, that is also mentioned. Janti deva prata devan. Read this.
Yanti deva prata devan pitrin yanti pichir vrataha bhutani yanti bhuteja yanti madajinopimam.
So, if we like, we can go to the higher planetary system, heavenly planetary system, just like we are trying to go to the moon planet, but we have not been successful. In this way, we cannot go there. Each planet, each and every planet has got different atmosphere. So, unless your body is completely competent to live in such planet, you cannot go there. Just like the scientists said that in the moon planet, the temperature is 200 degrees below zero. Similarly, in the sun planet, the temperature is very, very high. 100,000 times degrees above the normal. So in this way, every planet has got different atmosphere, different temperature, different standard of light, different duration of light. So one has to become competent to transfer himself in a particular type of planet. So we as spirit soul, Dehi, the possessor of this body, Dehi means one who possesses this body, or the occupier of the body, the spirit soul, that is eternal, changing body only, but eternal. Therefore, we should not be interested to these different types of temporary body. That is not very good intelligence. So, we have to prepare ourselves. If we want, there is a full description of each and every planet, and we can prepare ourselves according to our desire, which planet we wish to go. But Krishna says, Madhajinopi janti mam. Persons who are engaged in my occupational duties, they will come to me. So go to God or Krishna means you will have to acquire your original spiritual body. The spiritual body is already there, but we are now covered by this material body. So how we are eternal, that is described in the Bhagavad Gita, Avinashi tu tavividhi, jena sarvamidam tatam, vinasam abhyasya asya napisthit kartumarati. The hint is given, the something which is spread all over the body, that is eternal. And what is that something? That something is our consciousness. Here it is stated, Avinashi tu tadvidhi, jena sarvamidam tatam. In this body there is something, that is consciousness, that is eternal. Just like if you or I pinch my body, I feel pain, because the consciousness is there. But when the consciousness will not be there, if I cut my hand or cut your hand, you will not protest. Even scientists have proved this consciousness is there in the tree also. If you cut the tree, there is sensation, feelings of pain, and that is recorded in the machine. So here it is hinted that this consciousness is spread all over the body, that is eternal. The body is not eternal. As soon as the consciousness is gone, the body is dead. Therefore, we should take care of the thing which is constant, that is the soul. On account of presence of the soul, there is consciousness. So Krishna further says in this connection, Antavattaime deha nitya sukta saririna. This body, deha means body, antava, it is perishable. Nityasya ukta saririna. But the thing which is covered by this material body, that is eternal. So that consciousness of the rays of the soul is described here. Na jayate mriyate va kadachit. This consciousness of the soul is never born, neither it is ever dead. Nayang bhutya bhuvita va no bhuyo. The soul and the consciousness has no past, present or future. It is eternal. Ajo. Ajo means which does not take birth. Ajo nitya, eternal. Shasvata, ever existing. Ayam, Purana, the oldest. Na harnate hannamane sarire. When the body is annihilated, the soul and consciousness is not annihilated. Just like when we sleep, our consciousness works in a different body, subtle body, mind, intelligence and ego. That we have got experience every night. We sleep on our bed, but my consciousness goes to other country or other place and work in a different way. again when at the end of the dream, we come back to this body, gross body. So death means when the consciousness does not come back again to this gross body and enters another gross body, this period is called death. So, the subtle body, mind is there. I know you have got mind, you know I have got my mind. But I cannot see your mind, you cannot see my mind. So, there is intelligence also. I know you have got intelligence, you know I have got intelligence. But you cannot see my intelligence unless it is active. I cannot see your intelligence unless it is active. So the soul is covered by two kinds of dresses, just like we are covered by the shirt and the coat. Similarly, the covering of the shirt are mind, intelligence and ego. This is one covering. And upon this, there is the gross covering, earth, water, air, fire, like that. In this way, we have got two covers. So, our business is, because we are eternal, we should not remain in these temporary coverings. That temporary cover, so long we are bound up or encased in this covering, that is called conditioned life. So, we are trying to become free from this conditioned life, just like people are trying to go to the moon planet. The desire is there. But because the life is conditioned, he cannot go. Just like I am a foreigner, I have come to your country, I am conditioned by immigration law. There are so many conditions. One of the conditions is that I cannot live here forever unless it is sanctioned by the government. So, we are conditioned now in this form of life, covered by the material element. We are conditioned by the material nature. That is stated in the Bhagavad Gita. Prakritik krivarani gunai karmani sarva. Ahankara vimmu atma patta aham iti mannate. We are conditioned in every state by the laws of material nature. Still foolishly we are thinking we are free. This is foolishness. We are so much controlled by the material nature, exactly like a small child is pulled by the ear by his mother. Come here, he comes here, go there. Just like a dog. The dog may feel very freedom, jumping. But as soon as the master says, come here, he comes and immediately changes. This is our position. So that is our position, that we are completely under the clutches of material nature, and according to the modes of material nature, we are acting and changing our body in different species of life. So, our real business in this human form of life is to try to accept the process by which we can get free from this conditioned life. The process is that we have to give up all our false consciousness. We are under false consciousness. I am thinking I am Indian, you are thinking you are German, and the dog is thinking I am dog, and cat is thinking I am cat. So, this bodily consciousness, bodily concept of life will keep us conditioned within the material nature. Therefore, our first business is how to get free from all these designations. Just like I am putting on this saffron cloth, but I am not saffron cloth. Or you are putting a red cloth or black coat. You are not black cloth. Within the coat, you are the person. Similarly, within the dress, I am the person. So at the present moment, we are on the dress consciousness. I am German dress, I am Englishman dress, I am Indian dress, I am male dress, I am female dress. So this is called conditioned life. So in this conditioned life, we are accepting one type of body and we are dying. Dying means giving up and being transmigrated, transferred to another body by the laws of material nature. It is not under my control. You cannot say that after Giving up this German body, I shall accept again another German body. That is not in your hands, sir. It is under the laws of nature. You cannot propose. You cannot force material nature. After this body I can get any other body. That is stated here. Tatha dehantara prapti, another form of body. That form of body may be any one of the 8,400,000 forms of body. Therefore, if we are actually intelligent, we should try for or flesh in our original body, the spiritual body. That will stop this constant change of body. So the simple process is, as we are preaching in this Krishna consciousness movement, that if you try to understand only what is Krishna or Christ, the same thing, then you get your original spiritual body. This Krishna consciousness can be awakened simply by chanting the Mahamantra Hare Krishna or the holy name of God. So keep yourself aloof from 4 kinds of sinful life and keep always in touch with Krishna and God, then you go back to home, back to God. This advantage is possible in this human form of life. Otherwise, we are missing the chant. We may be again put in the cycle of that 8,400,000 forms of body. The process is very simple and easy because you can remain in your occupation, in whatever position you are. Simply you chant the holy name of God. Not only Hare Krishna, you can chant the holy name of God. Christ is also the same as Krishna. So, do it. There is no expenditure, but the profit is very, very great. So the conclusion is, we should not put ourselves in the cycle of birth and death continually in 8,400,000 species of life. To stop it and go back to home, back to Godhead, and regain your original spiritual life. So, thank you very much. If you have got any question on the subject matter, you can ask.
If chanting means out loud, how can you do it all day while you're working and in so many different situations? How can you chant out loud?
You chant slow. There is no harm. Either loud or slow, it doesn't matter. But you chant the holy name of God.
Why do we say to chant but not sing?
Hey, same thing. Either you sing or chant, the same thing.
What is the meaning of chanting? You chant all day long. Do you reach a certain consciousness?
Yes. By chanting the holy name of God, you associate with God. God is absolute. He is not different from His name. So, when you chant God's name, means you immediately become in touch with God. And by chanting more and more, your association becomes more and more intimate. Then everything is disclosed to you. That is stated in the Bhagavad Gita. Tesam satadujuktanam bhajatang pritipurvakam dadami buddhijogam tam jirmam abhijantite. If you keep in touch with God, with faith and love, then God is within yourself. He is giving intelligence how you can go back home, back to God. There are many different processes or yoga systems to be in touch with God. But for the people in this age, this is the easiest method to be in touch with God simply by chanting His holy name. Well, by chanting loudly, you will also help your neighbor who will hear you. And when he comes to complain, why you are disturbing, then your mission is successful. That means he has heart. So that you hear and let your neighbors also hear, both of them benefit. And that is the greatest benefit you can render to your neighbor. I have already explained that God and His name, the one, absolute. In the material world, your name and you person, they are two different things. That is the difference between God and you. So therefore, by chanting God's name, you actually contact with God. But in the material world, that is not possible. Suppose I am thirsty, I want water. If I chant water, water, it will not act. But in the case of chanting the holy name of God, it is as good as to associate with God. Try to understand. That Nama Chintamani Krishna Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha Purna Suddha Nitta Mukta Abhinnatyat Nama Namina. The name of God and God is equally Purna, perfect, Suddha, purified, Purna Suddha Nitta, eternal, Purna Suddha Nitta Mukta, and liberated from material contamination. So, it is not the question of argument. You can try, there is no loss on your part. Chant the holy name of God and see the result yourself. In India also, sometimes Krishna is announced as Krishna, or you announce as Christ. It does not matter, because God will take your mind, not your pronunciation. If you mean to pronounce God's name, even if it is not formally or perfectly pronounced, still God will understand that you are trying to chant His name. That is your purpose. Christ or Krishna or Krishna, if you understand that you are hankering after Him, He will give the resultant action. And this is the easiest process in this age for God realization. Thank you very much. Let us chant.
Jai Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Jai. Thank you so much for streaming it nicely. Okay, 7:50. We have 10 minutes to discuss what we heard. Would anyone like to start? What did Srila... we need a moderator, Adipusha Prabhu. Please moderate.
We'll prefer to do this in shorter duration of speaking so that the devotees who are attending the class can be included. But we'll try our best. Prabhupada starts out. Does anybody remember?
I remember he said that we start off as water species, and then we gradually progress to plants, and then higher and higher and so forth. But we start off as a water species, which is kind of fun. And I heard a lecture the other day where it's a reel, I think it was, and the scientist was describing how a human embryo has gills when it first develops, and then the gill transforms into the ear and lower jaw. So it all lines up to me. Srila Prabhupada is in line with the scientific discoveries of this day.
I would offer just a slight correction here. I don't remember Prabhupada saying that it's fun to be a fish. It's not easy to be in an animal body without access to developing our consciousness. So he talks, he's right, he starts Jalajana Lakshmi, that there are so many millions of species of fish, and then its soul will get the body of
A plant. First comes fish, then a plant.
And then it progresses to different types of bodies, and then there are 400,000 different human species. Jignasa, that the idea that the human being has the option to inquire, not just where is eating and sleeping and then die, but what is the nature of our spiritual dimension. And that was his point there, that although there are different species that a soul might enter after the progression through the animals and the plants and the aquatics and all those birds, then the human being has a crossroads. Where does he go after that when he talks about the different types of bodies and the access to the human life?
Sharmila.
Hare Krishna. Today was beautiful class, as usual, by Srila Prabhupada, and he mentioned many settings from the Bhagavad Gita, and he mentions that our body needs to be prepared to go to higher planetary systems. We have to prepare ourselves, and he quoted Bhagavad Gita, Udvam Gachanti Sattvastaha. So we have to attain that higher consciousness by doing dharmic things to attain those higher planetary systems, because there's a big time difference and there is a big distance that the spiritual soul needs to travel and prepare ourselves. So we are conditioned in this earth with the different types of the ego and other types of things that holds us back in this material nature. But if we have to break free and move to the higher planetary systems, we have to prepare our spiritual bodies. So that was very profound. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Shamila. When we make it there to the higher planetary systems, there will be birth, old age, death, and disease there, Srila Prabhupada says. So we have to even transcend those places and go further. And the preparation is giving up our false designations and taken to the process of Krishna consciousness. So there's two aspects, negative aspect and the positive aspect. What not to do, what to give up, and what to engage in.
Beautifully said, Prabhuji.
Jai Srila Prabhupada. Okay.
Anybody else? Anything Prabhupada was speaking about?
I like in the end that question that somebody posed kind of challengingly to Prabhupada, saying, oh, well, if we're supposed to chant all day, then how could we do that if we have work and stuff like that? And Prabhupada just chant quietly, just chant softly. Just saying, it's a tendency I've seen in myself and in general where, it's so easy to come up with an excuse as to why we can't do this or do that, whatever it is, whether it's something duty related or hearing and chanting. But in reality, if we're just honest and sincere, there's always a way. Where there's a will, there's a way. And if we have that will to really please Prabhupada and please Krishna, then nothing can actually stop us. We may come up with some ideas as to why we can't, but in reality, it's all in our head, and there's nothing that can actually impede us from pleasing our spiritual master and Prabhupada. So I like Prabhupada, just chant softly. What do you mean? Why can't I chant all day? Just make it happen, So I like how Prabhupada was pretty straight up with that, and moved me.
Thank you, Anupam Prabhu. Okay, Krishna Kumari followed by Bhima.
Hare Krishna. I really appreciated the analogy of like the free child or the free dog.
Krishna Kumari, you're breaking up. Move closer to the router. Is it just me? Or she sounds choppy? Krishna Kumari, you need to move closer to the router. Or climb up a tree or something. No, it didn't help, Krishna Kumari. Krishna Kumari, we'll have to mute you for now. I'm sorry, Krishna Kumari. If you can hear us, please try maybe resetting your router, and we're going to hear from Bhima now. Oh, drones, yeah. It's because of the drones.
You can go to Bhima.
Yeah, Ishikamari, we love you. I'm sorry. Yeah, we couldn't hear it. Bhima Prabhu.
Well, actually, before I start speaking, why don't you just mute me, and that way that way I can come away with not feeling so bad about what I just said. Um, the chanting, the constant chanting. One thing that always got me, Prabhupada. By the way, can I be heard? Is everything
Yeah,
smooth?
yeah.
I need some drones. I need something to shoot at. I can't shoot at animals because I'm a vegan, and I can't shoot at my neighbors because they have bigger guns than me. And
I'm looking at Adipur Prabhu's face, and he's like, "Gosh, we're discussing what Srila Prabhupada said. How did we drift into this?
well,
Shooting
I mean,
neighbors
this
and
is Kurukshetra,
drones."
man. We got to go to war.
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
at war. We're at war within, and we're at war without. This is not tiptoeing through the tulips here. And anyways, what I was going to say is that the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna talks about that spark of his splendor from just being the taste of water to being the light of the sun and the moon, to being the syllable Om, to being the sacrifice of the chanting of the holy names. He discusses these things and he says, but this is just a spark. And, um, we have to come to that. And I know it's hard in the city because everything is built by man, so you're surrounded by the vibe of man, the doer in the city. But when you're in nature and you see that the fact that everything's a miracle around you, from the planting of a seed, just to the weather, to animals, my God, it becomes less of a categorization. I mean, I'm lower than the animals. I serve animals. I literally serve. I get up, the cats have to jump off my chest or curl up around my, and then I have to deal with the dogs, and then I'm out dealing with the horses, and then the wife, which is another form of animal. And we serve, and in that serving, in that, for most people, humility. With me, it's humiliation. In that humility, oh, let it go. Maybe in the afterglow. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Bhima Prabhu. Okay, darshan time. Yeah, you can stand up or at least sit up straight. Yeah, like Jeffrey Eckler. Yeah, that's the extent of his surrender. Yeah. Yes.
Hare Krishna. Antamadalaya Bhagavatam Samasritam Gurasundaram Kandakoti Kamaniya
Grace on the cross, the ocean of material suffering, and obtain the mercy of Krishna. My only wish is to have my consciousness purified by the word emanating from his lotus feet. Attachment to his lotus feet is a perfection that fulfills all desires. He opens my darkened eyes and fills my heart with transcendental knowledge. He is my Lord, birth after birth. From him ecstatic prema emanates, and by him ignorance is destroyed. The Vedic scriptures sing of his character. Our spiritual master is the ocean of mercy, the friend of the poor and the Lord of masters and deities. O Master, be merciful unto us, and give us the shade of your lotus feet. And spread all over 3 worlds. We take shelter at your lotus feet. Prabhupada.
Thank you, Janitai Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Okay, welcome to the Afterglow. Krishna Kumari, can you unmute yourself? Let's see if you can be heard. We appreciate. Yes, we can hear you. No, Krishna Kumari. No, unfortunately, can't hear you. Sorry. So Krishna Kumari put in the chat that she appreciates the analogy that Srila Prabhupada gave about the parent calling the child back and the dog owner calling the dog back. Krishna Kumari, no. Poor Krishna Kumari.
I don't want to leave what I said about shooting at the neighbors in the.
Yeah, let's go back to that. Yeah, Bhima Prabhu, please.
If you only take half of what I say out of context, you might want to run and hide. What I
Hold on,
wanted to say
let me
is-
mute. Krishna Kumari. What a circus, Krishna.
The child's going here and there.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
That's my mind. Is the clouds going here and there? That's my mind.
Yeah, when it was chopped, I was thinking, yeah, that's how Krishna hears me chanting inattentively. That's what Krishna hears, schnick, schnack, schnack, like that. But I'm trying. I'm trying, Krishna. I'm trying. Go, Krishna. Okay, a question. Do we have Adi on this call? Okay, Bhima Prabhu.
I didn't get to finish.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
I don't want to be left in the lurch with what I said. It's embarrassing. No, I just wanted to finish it with, that constant chanting. Prabhupada always said it's not an artificial imposition on the mind. I remember that when I first started chanting, that ultimately chanting should be just a natural impetus, to want to see Krishna everywhere. And of course, shutting down our thoughts, the wandering mind, and concentrating on Krishna's name with, whatever sincerity, lobha that we can muster. But I think that what's important in the Bhagavad Gita, when Krishna said, "See me everywhere and everything in me," and that everything is but a spark of my splendor, is that, and Prabhupada always said that this is it's the science of self-realization, that the more we learn about the wonder that is the world around, we take everything for granted. Everything we take for granted.
Yeah.
Every cell in our body we take for granted. Every breath
Yeah.
we take for granted. The humility and humiliation for me that will help us to see clearly is to understand that we are actually living in Krishna's universe, that there isn't Maya and then there's Krishna. That Maya is Krishna's offering to us because we wanted to play in a sandbox separate, and try to forget him. But we can remember him through that self-same world, this self-same world that we are in right now. We can remember him always, whether it be in the smile of a devotee, the chastisement of a superior or of a guru, the grass growing from the ground, the birds flying in the sky. We can remember him. And this is also chanting. When we remember Krishna, like a child that wakes up every morning full of fun and vigor and just wants to go out and play. If we can remember that, oh, I'm awake now I can engage in Krishna's service. I can engage of which remembrance is the huge part. I mean, we could basically do every type of service and not remember Krishna, and it's not devotional service. So remembering Krishna at all times, and it doesn't necessarily have to feel like an imposition on our mind that we have to sit down in a lotus position and put the beads in our hands. That's the beginning. The end product is that all day long we're like, oh, Krishna's doing this, and oh, look at how Krishna's working here, and oh, Krishna's just chastising me, and oh, Krishna brought this devotee into my life, or Krishna has given me this challenge. Krishna, all day long. And
Yeah.
why are we doing this? We're doing this to help Hare, which is Radharani. Ultimately, we have to go to Radharani because she's got plenty of engagement for us. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Bhima Prabhu. Thank you. You said it very wonderfully. It's like chanting Hare Krishna is not unnatural. It's natural. Chanting is natural. Thank you.
What were you all thinking when Radharani threw her bouquet down? Was anybody praying something special?
I don't know.
When the darshan was happening, Radharani threw her bouquet. Anybody notice?
No, I didn't notice.
I was really thinking oh, I really need to focus on what they're wearing and the color of their garlands. And then I was thinking, no, I should be praying right now. I really want to
You should have
connect
caught the
with you.
bouquet. You should have caught the bouquet.
Yeah,
It's
Krishna
like
Kumari.
a maid.
And then Radharani just threw the bouquet. I was like, okay, I'm praying.
Yeah,
Radharani was throwing it like a bride who throws the bouquet, and whoever catches it is next in line to get married to Krishna.
Yeah, Krishna Kumari caught it
Ready.
by noticing it. She was the only one, apparently.
There you go.
Yeah.
Krishna.
Radharani reciprocated during class. How wonderful. See, first Radharani tested Krishna Kumari by making her sound choppy, but then she reciprocated so wonderfully with her. Cool. Yeah, first comes tests and then reciprocation. Yeah. Cool. A question. When Srila Prabhupada was talking about giving up the false designations that we acquire throughout the lifetimes and lifetimes of birth and death, he said, I was thinking about Arjuna, Krishna's friend, and I was thinking Krishna told him to abandon the designations, but then he told him to fight, which is his designation. So how do we abandon our designations? Do we just drop them, or do we engage in them? How does that work? There seems to be a contradiction here.
think it's whatever brings you closer to Krishna, right? That's the point of the Bhagavad Gita. Krishna gives us so much options of how you can attain him, but then ultimately, it's abandon all varieties of religion, all dharma. Like you can do all this dharma, but then you have to abandon it all. Just come to me.
And go to the forest. But Krishna did not tell Arjuna go to the forest. He didn't tell him to become a cook or a woman. He told him to fight, which is a designation. How does that work?
Yeah, I think how I understand is we have to still do our karmas, and we have to offer all our karmas to Krishna. By doing our daily karmas and offering everything to him, we get closer to him. We have to always keep that in the background, that we are doing this in service of Shri Krishna.
Mm-hmm. So we give up by offering it to Krishna.
That's right. Yes.
Oh, cool.
Hare Krishna.
Okay, Gail.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Yeah, a couple things. One is to respond to your question. What occurred to me is something similar to Sharmila Mataji. That by acting according to a particular role, right? Like whatever the designation is, that doesn't mean that we have to identify with it. So we don't identify with it, which is like giving it up. You give up the designation, but we can simultaneously act according to the role described by that designation. Whether you're a chachiya or a mother or, a bank employee, you can do the duties of a designation without identifying with it. That's my understanding.
That's right, exactly. You can drive the car for Krishna, but you don't have to think you are a car.
Mm-hmm. Or the driver.
Yeah. And I'm going to keep paying my car insurance and everything.
Yeah.
I'm not the car. Thank you. That's simple, but very profound. Gail, thank you. Wow.
Yeah, I just wanted to actually repeat something that I felt, resonated with me a lot when Srila Prabhupada during his lecture said that basically, he was talking about the fact that the pronunciation of the words are not so important. It doesn't mean that we should be careless about the pronunciation, but what Krishna is actually listening to is our intention. And I really love that because, we have this common saying, it's the thought that counts, right? And that's never truer than in Krishna's eyes. He sees the thought behind our every word, thought, and action. And I love that about Krishna, that what he pays attention to is our intention and not the outcome of our intention. That's what really counts for him. So, whether you do some very tiny job like a squirrel or some big job like the monkeys in the Ramayana, for Krishna, both are the same because what he's appreciating is the thoughtfulness behind it, the love behind it. So that's what came from me when Srila Prabhupada said, it's not about the pronunciation, it's about your intention.
Thank you, Gail. Thank you. Yeah, Srila, I noticed that point too. It stuck out to me when Prabhupada said, if you mean to call out to the Lord, he will hear, he'll get it. Okay, Bhima Prabhu. Or that hand is from before?
That hand is from before. I run out of things to say today.
Okay, thank you. Let's see. No, there's no Karen today. All right. So Dana Krishna's Radharani, can you say Hare Krishna and Fafara Yagi? Dana Krishna Radharani, Hare Krishna, please. Okay. All right, then we are going to request Mary Ellison to say Hare Krishna. Mary Ellison, please unmute yourself. No? Okay. Jeffrey Eckler, are you here, or is that's an image?
I am here.
Can you wave your? Okay. All right.
Pinch him.
Okay.
Pinch him.
Why don't we all unmute and all at once everybody says Hare Krishna together?
Yeah.
I love
1,
that
2, 3.
idea.
Let's do it.
Ready? Everybody unmute. Nobody cares what you look like. Just unmute.
Never heard a truer statement.
All right. And on 3, Hare Krishna. Ready? 3, 2, 1.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Love
Jai, thank
to
you.
all.
Thank you. This is Sankirtan, collective chanting. Thank you, Bhima Prabhu. Thank you.
Prabhupada said we're our spiritual bodies.
Spiritual bodies, yes.
Yes,
Thank you.
I am here. I'm sorry. I just wasn't next to my phone and didn't get there in time to unmute.
That's
But
Mary Ellison. Thank you, Mary
yes,
Ellison. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Yes, she did it. She did it. She came through. Thank you.
Mine
Thank you.
kept saying that the host wouldn't let me unmute.
Oh, I'm
I don't
sorry.
know.
I'm
I
sorry.
don't know why.
It was Jeffrey Eckler. It wasn't me. He's
No.
also.
I was like, oh
It
no,
was personal. Don't worry. Just take it personally. We're radical personalism.
Oh no, I was kicked out of the group. I love you guys. You're the best.
Thank you. Thank you, Dana Krishna Zarani. Hare Krishna, everybody.